Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. If you love discovering hidden treasures, rare coins, and unbelievable stories hiding in everyday pocket change, then you are absolutely in the right place. Today's video is going to be an exciting deep dive into one of the most fascinating modern-era US coins ever made. We're talking about the 1982 1-cent coin from the United States, a penny that most people overlook, ignore, or spend without a second thought. But what if I told you that certain versions of this 1982 penny are believed to be worth as much as $451 million due to rare errors, mistakes, mint mark mysteries, and incredible possibilities that collectors dream about? Yes, a single 1-cent coin, originally meant to be worth just 1 penny, may carry a value so high it could change lives forever. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at a penny the same way again. The story of the 1982 1-cent coin begins during a time of major change in U.S. coinage history. The early 1980s were a turning point for the U.S. Mint, especially when it came to the humble penny. For decades, Lincoln cents were primarily made of copper, but rising metal prices caused a serious problem. The value of the copper inside the penny was starting to approach, and in some cases exceed, the coin's face value of 1 cent. This created a crisis for the U.S. Mint, because it was becoming more expensive to make pennies than the coins were actually worth. In response, 1982 became a transitional year, one filled with experiments, changes, and confusion that would later give birth to some of the most valuable and mysterious pennies ever known. In 1982, the U.S. Mint produced pennies using 2 different metal compositions. Some were made primarily of copper, while others were made of zinc with a thin copper coating. This alone makes 1982 unique, because it is the only year in which both copper and zinc pennies were produced for circulation. But the complexity doesn't stop there. In addition to the metal changes, there were also differences in design details, mint marks, weight standards, and striking quality. All of this created the perfect environment for minting errors, mistakes, and rare anomalies that today are the foundation of the 1982 penny's massive potential value. One of the most important things to understand about the 1982 1-cent coin is that there are multiple varieties, even among normal, non-error coins. Some pennies from 1982 have large date numbers, while others have small date numbers. This refers to the size of the numerals in the year on the coin. The difference may seem minor at first glance, but to collectors, it's a big deal. Large date and small date pennies are considered separate varieties, and when you combine that with different metal compositions and mint marks, the number of possible variations grows quickly. Mint marks also play a crucial role in the story of the 1982 penny. Coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally did not carry a mint mark during this period, while coins minted in Denver carried a D mint mark. This means there are Philadelphia copper pennies, Philadelphia zinc pennies, Denver copper pennies, and Denver zinc pennies. But here's where things get really interesting. Certain combinations were never officially intended to exist, and when they do show up, collectors go absolutely wild. One of the most legendary errors associated with the 1982 penny is the 1982 D small date copper penny. According to official U.S. Mint records, Denver was not supposed to strike small date pennies on copper planchets in 1982. Small date pennies from Denver were intended to be zinc. However, a small number of pennies have surfaced that appear to be struck with a small date design on copper planchets and bear the D mint mark. These coins are so rare that only a handful are believed to exist, and their authenticity is heavily scrutinized whenever one appears. The reason these coins can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars is not just their rarity, but also their significance. They represent a breakdown in minting controls during a historic transition year. A genuine 1982 D small date copper penny is considered one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coin collecting. If a flawless example were to surface and be authenticated beyond any doubt, its value could reach astronomical levels, potentially approaching or even exceeding the $451 million figure that collectors and researchers speculate about. Another factor that drives the extreme value of certain 1982 pennies is weight. Copper pennies weigh approximately 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. This difference may seem small, but it is critical for identifying rare errors. Many collectors use precision scales to weigh their 1982 pennies, hoping to discover a copper planchet where zinc should have been used, or vice versa. A penny with the wrong weight can be a strong indicator of a rare transitional error, and in the case of the 1982 penny, transitional errors are among the most valuable. Minting errors in 1982 didn't stop with metal composition. There are also pennies with off-center strikes, double strikes, and misaligned dies. Some 1982 pennies show doubled images, where the date or lettering appears doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. While many double die errors are relatively minor and common, extreme examples can command enormous premiums, especially when combined with the correct metal composition and mint mark. Die errors also played a major role in creating rare 1982 pennies. Dies are the metal tools used to strike the coin's design onto blank planchets. Over time, dies can crack, chip, or wear down. Some 1982 pennies show dramatic die cracks, cuds, or missing design elements. When these errors are severe and well-defined, collectors consider them highly desirable. If such an error appears on a rare base variety, such as a copper penny that should not exist, the value multiplies dramatically. Another fascinating possibility involves wrong planchet errors. A planchet is the blank metal disc that becomes a coin when struck. In rare cases, a penny can be struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or another metal type. For example, a 1982 penny struck on a bronze planchet intended for an earlier year, or even on a foreign planchet, would be an extraordinary discovery. These types of errors are extremely rare, and when they occur during a transitional year like 1982, they can become legendary. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality and surface details. Some 1982 pennies exhibit weak strikes, where certain details are not fully formed. Others show unusually sharp details, indicating a fresh die strike. While strike quality alone does not create a multi-million-dollar coin, it can significantly enhance the value when combined with other rare characteristics. A perfectly struck, mint-state example of a rare 1982-era penny could easily outperform expectations at auction. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale that evaluates wear, luster, surface marks, and overall eye appeal. A rare 1982 penny in circulated condition may already be worth a fortune, but one in pristine, uncirculated condition with full original luster could be worth exponentially more. When collectors talk about values reaching into the hundreds of millions, they are usually imagining a nearly perfect specimen with unquestionable authenticity and historical significance. Authentication is another critical piece of the puzzle. Because of the extreme values involved, any 1982 penny suspected of being a rare error must be examined by professional grading and authentication services. These experts use advanced tools to analyze metal composition, weight, die characteristics, and strike patterns. A coin that passes authentication becomes part of numismatic history, while one that fails is often dismissed as altered or counterfeit. This rigorous process is part of what makes genuine discoveries so rare and valuable. The idea that a 1982 penny could be worth $451 million may sound unbelievable, but history shows us that rare coins can reach staggering prices when the right conditions are met. Factors such as rarity, demand, historical importance, and collector competition all contribute to skyrocketing values. When a coin represents a once-in-a-lifetime error from a pivotal moment in minting history, its value can surpass all expectations. Another reason the 1982 penny has captured so much attention is accessibility. Unlike ancient gold coins or limited edition commemoratives, 1982 pennies were produced in massive quantities and circulated widely. This means there is always the possibility that a rare example is still out there, sitting in a jar, a drawer, or even in circulation. This sense of possibility keeps collectors searching, weighing, and examining every 1982 penny they can find. The psychological appeal of the 1982 penny cannot be overstated. It represents hope, curiosity, and the thrill of discovery. The idea that an ordinary,